Welcome everyone to our Joining in Light group. We're going to be looking at a desire that Jesus is guiding us to look at from the movie Palm Springs. And what we were hearing is, actually I have to grab it.
Helplessness.
Helplessness, yes. And like a death loop.
Yeah.
In this movie, it's like a Groundhog Day. The main character has a desired experience to feel like trapped or stuck in a loop, where he's reliving the same day every day. So, and what I kind of heard with that as well is like this desire for helplessness was like kind of what I saw his character kind of playing out was like I got this, like all under control, and then but on the other side of other side of the coin is like I'll never get this, I'll never get out of here. So that play of those going on, and so we can just start with the light of divine being and ask Jesus what miracles to perform, what's most helpful for healing the mind. I'm just hearing, first of all, stay with the desire. Go directly to that, the desire for the experience.
Yeah, feeling like what I'm hearing is feeling like I have no choice. I'm stuck wherever, and I have no choice.
It's like a yeah, but
it's here, it's like the feeling of like, well, better just make the best of it, like, and it's not as defeated of a feeling. It's kind of more coming from a place of like, how can I make this make use of the time. It's lighter today than it has been.
Yeah. It is. The more we join, we start to see. Yeah. Because he's like, it's like a dream where he's waking up. Seems to be waking up.
Yeah.
But
he starts to realize that he actually does have feelings for Sarah, and I think that the Holy Spirit is just kind of using Sarah to like help him get in touch with that deeper part of himself too, like, and Holy Spirit's using him for Sarah to do that as well, so that they can start treating, even if life is on a loop, like start treating it like it matters. Like with a sense of sacredness and like gentleness, or the word comes to mind like honoring life.
Yeah, it seemed like he really did not want to leave. He kind of talked about it, but he really enjoyed all the drama and being chased and shot and over and over again. terrible things happening, it seemed like. And she was like, I'm not putting up with this. Are you coming with me? And if he said no, so she said, okay, bye. And then he was like, whoops.
I think that in itself started to allow it to dawn on him that there's a lot more depth going on that he was kind of overlooking.
Mhm.
Regardless of whether it ever is the next day. That's really similar to Groundhog Day too.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like we're on the surface level experience skating on the ice. And then one day we slip on the ice and we're like, wait, there's a whole there's a whole thing down there.
Yeah, and he's relishing the helplessness.
Mhm. I can't do
That's-
anything about it.
Yeah, well, he's
Right, by just engaging in play of consciousness activities without any sense of like joining, like without any sense, like, which basically just meaninglessness, like engaging in meaninglessness.
Hmm. Yeah, he kept saying that.
Yeah, it's all meaningless.
So let's go back to the relishing of this desire for helplessness for ourselves. And what value do we get out of that?
This is really interesting, but I never saw this before, but I think I'm seeing the underbelly of the ego, like the stubbornness is kind of like, okay, God, like unless you allow me to move objects around with my mind and like walk through walls and like fly, like I'm gonna just keep digging my heels into the ground.
yeah, he kind of, the character has like almost like a superpower.
Right. Yeah. He
He's
totally does.
defying death, but he's really indulging in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he even says, I'm the Antichrist. And then he's like, just kidding, God's not real. So we know he doesn't believe in, like, he doesn't have any faith.
He's basically given up on getting out of it.
Yeah. And he is trying to make the best of it, but he's still upset deep down because he sees a meaningless world.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I can see how that gives him the powers, like near the beginning of the film, where he just knew where everyone was going to be, and like that knew that guy was going to sit down in the chair, and when he was dancing around during the very the wedding reception. It was like a magic show, though. It wasn't like, it was like, look at my power, like behold my glory. Like it wasn't really about God or anything like coming from the heart.
Okay. We'll just do a light check and see what's most helpful right now.
What I'm hearing is to really dig deeper on this relishing for ourselves of this desire for helplessness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like to see the repetition really in how much I relish that repetition
Yeah.
of feeling helpless.
Yeah. Jesus Jesus, show us our shared personal experience of that, like the relishing of that.
And for me, what I'm hearing and seeing is there's certain loops of patterns of thought that I get in. We were just talking here at the center about our addiction to food and how food is high on the list of idols we have.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an addiction to certain things, food being one of them.
Yeah.
And we get into that loop then. Well, if I'm hungry or whatever, or if there's not enough eggs or milk, we've had that happen here. Then there's upset and twitch. And so seeing these loops of thought I have and the helplessness about it.
Yeah, it's really about getting in touch with the relishing. I can see that now. Yeah. Yeah, there's no other answer.
Yeah. There's really amazing things happen just in focusing on the relishing.
Yeah, and the contrast to kind of it's been very helpful to see the contrast
Yeah.
of whatever he's showing me with the light. And that's how we watch the movies as well. So it's an invitation to stay as the light and look at it and just stay with that desire. Like there's nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah, ego really is the desire for something else, isn't it? Yeah.
And did we I was hearing maybe we could ask about the value, like the benefit of what we think we're getting.
I don't know, some sense pleasures. I did hear misery loves company earlier. So there is something there about like shared commiserating.
Mm.
And I think there's a sense of, or what I'm hearing is a sense of, well, I'm not going to win at this game. There's nothing I can do. It's all outside of me.
Mm.
So I guess what would you get out of that is a sense of complacency or giving up, or, oh, let's just enjoy the show and don't worry about anything else.
Yeah, I kind of heard something like we think we have time. If just the illusion of that was dispelled, then it would be happy, happy, happy.
Yeah, I was hearing happiness for those, that there's happiness.
In
There's a
helplessness.
confusion. Yeah, there's a confusion.
Oh, yeah.
Happiness and
You can't really have helplessness without the belief in time. So that's probably why I heard we think we have time. But it seems pretty real. Like I can't just deny the existence of time.
yeah, we look at the desire and then we just see how badly we want that. So is it power? That's what I hear as far as like time goes, is it's like a power thing, a control thing, where
That's the digging of the heels. That
Mhm.
was what I was
Yeah.
hearing earlier.
Mhm.
It's like something wants to dig its heels into the ground and be like, I can control other things around me by not being controlled or something like that. What a minuscule use of power. Like that's like not divine power. Like we can just recognize that.
Misuse.
I mean, even on a practical level, like you couldn't build the airplane with that. You can't, like, there's nothing even practical that can be done with that.
Yeah, it's like kind of overlooking the simplicity is what I was hearing.
Yeah.
It's simple and
Ego says it's too simple.
Mm.
It's too simple. So that's what seems to be the obstacle there. Let's just go back to the relishing.
yeah. Yeah, just stay with it. Is there, I'm hearing we can go deeper too.
You're hearing what?
We can go deeper.
Yeah. What is
I
below
feel
that?
there's some release and it's just, we're starting to like turn into it. Just turn into it. Like no matter what, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is it the character's name, Sarah? She turns in and she just goes for it.
Yeah.
And she's calling him out. She's like, she's determined. She's
Right.
Because she sees she's waking up and the moment her eyes pop open, she sees her mistake, like
Yeah.
her choice to cheat herself out of divine being. Like she sees that symbol of the fiance of her sister.
You know what I think? I think it's like what I just heard is like since he's been in that loop longer and she just entered into it and she is seeing him in the loop. See, before it was just him alone in the loop, but now she's seeing him alone in his loop and then able by observing that to see like other possibilities, like maybe there's another possibility here, because she gets an opportunity to observe herself and the direction she could go, which is just looping through him by witnessing his behavior. And then that allows her to be like, oh, there's got to be another possibility here.
Now, I'm not willing to settle for looping and looping and looping.
Yeah, but I'm seeing how much of a gift he was to show her that, because she was able to observe him. He didn't have anyone to observe before she got there.
Except Roy, who was out to get him.
Roy, yeah, except for Roy, that's true. who actually turned out to be a totally okay guy, and it was like his own mind was projecting him as this
Well,
this
Roy was out to get him. Roy was shooting him with arrows and killing him off.
right, but it was all because Niles thought that Roy was asking to be in the same experience as him. Because remember, he said, I would like to live the same day over and over. And Niles was probably feeling alone in the loop and wanted to bring someone else into the experience of it. And if you remember, for a little while, Roy and him were friends.
Yeah, that whole thing gets turned around completely in the movie. Like,
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that relationship.
So I'm hearing a prompt to get back to the relishing.
Sure.
Is there holding or release?
I feel release.
There are situations in which I can see I choose helplessness because I don't want to accept a miracle. There's certain things in my personal identity that I don't want to let go of. So I feign helplessness, or I choose helplessness.
What does Jesus say that that you believe the source of that identity structure is? Like, does he say anything to you about that?
It's an ego construct to deny the light.
Okay, so it's not like when I was 5 this happened. No, nothing like that.
Well, we make up our personal identity out of that, but it's
Right.
it's all the ego calling the shots, and we don't need to tell our stories.
Right, we don't need that. Yeah,
Yeah,
good to notice.
that's just getting re-involved in the illusion.
Right. Reliving the past. Yeah, that's not, doesn't really.
And it took me a while to really see that relishing doesn't mean reliving the past. It's just I really looking at the wanting energy.
Right, we say relish, not rehash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what does Jesus say stands in the way of our letting go to this like perfect happiness?
Just our unwillingness to accept a miracle and see things differently.
And he says the answer is relishing, getting into the relishing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's admitting and owning that everything that shows up because I asked it to. I brought it to me to heal.
Oh yeah, there's that course passage. It's like, I would elect the thoughts that I have and the experiences that come to me. Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing how the ego tries to turn that around and use it as an excuse to remain in a meaningless loop. Well, if everything I do is what's supposed to happen, then
Yeah, it can be. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's a self-deception.
And if we really want to get out, we admit it, we look at it with the light, and then we ask for a miracle and let it go.
Yeah. It's funny, ego likes patterns, but it doesn't like this one. It doesn't like this pattern of what you were just sharing. Yeah, I'm noticing that. I feel loosening. Do we want to do like a light check?
It sounds like we have two interpretations of light checks. One is just, is the light here, and checking in with the light, and the
Oh,
other
light,
is
light test.
contrasting the desire with the light and seeing, does this work in the light?
Yeah, I think the light test is the one that I meant to say. Like, what was today's desire again?
For helplessness?
Okay, desire for like to be caught in a loop of helplessness. So does the light ever get caught in a loop of helplessness? I do feel a little holding, like not entirely ready to let go of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that there's some things I'm like, sure, I'm letting this go. I'm not going to be helpless about letting this go. And then there's other things like the relationship with my children that I'm just hanging on too tightly, and I don't want to. It's like I feel helpless to let go of it.
So
So it's
ego's
like
getting
active
something.
miracles.
Yeah. I'm being guided to that we would ask Jesus what he would have us ask him, but letting go of the ideas that we've had.
What more does he want us to see here?
Wow, even that question, just like I could feel it open.
Yeah, and really seeing where this plays out with joining and focusing on the light and feeling like helpless to that, and relishing that, like really loving that delay to hang on at all costs.
Yeah, I'm seeing the sorry.
That's okay.
I'm seeing the death march now. Like I can see it. Like I'm outside, look, like observing the death march. It sounds like what you're talking about. Like the like we're gonna go into death no matter what. There's no other answer. There's no other solution. There's no other option. I mean, that's what the ego, that's how consciousness plays. Like it doesn't it doesn't yeah. Because someday my cat's gonna pass away. So that's proof that I will too. And it's a whole storyline that just goes off the rails, really. Yeah, I heard Jesus say, like, even if so-called death is where the ego believes it's headed, to like look directly there until it's seen that there's nothing. And he said that might take quite a bit of looking, but that's the root of the helplessness belief. Because helplessness is a sense of feeling paralyzed, like not being able to do anything.
Yeah, it's the wanting is like stronger. It's an addiction to that, to death. It's an addiction to death.
Yeah.
So if we reach the depth where we see, as Kay puts it, the golem, where we just really realize how much we really love helplessness, feeling helpless.
Well, I feel like it might be because the ego believes that if it dies, its problems will end.
Mhm.
So it's trying to get there as like quickly as possible, but it's going about it in the exact opposite way that God would have us go. Like
Well, it's like what I hear is salvation, seeking salvation through helplessness.
treating it as a real thing. Like it's like, don't pay attention to the light, pay attention to the hologram.
Mhm.
Your answers will be found in the hologram. That's like what the ego is always saying. And I used to play with Legos as a kid, and I even remember I would get frustrated. Looking back now, I realized that I got frustrated because it felt limited.
Limitation.
Yeah. So, like, maybe wait, I want to ask Jesus, are the feelings of helplessness related to the feeling of being limited? Feeling limited?
I was hearing that that's just, although it's all the same, that's like another desire,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, for limitation. But once there's no choice in the movie, you see that change in the mind where he goes from, because he knows she's on her way out,
Right,
that
right.
he like sees that she's not going to stay in there with him.
Yeah.
She says no. And she goes, and so
Yeah, it's like the only option he has is to go with her or just be left behind. So maybe that's where it doesn't really feel like a choice, but at the same time, that's just the ego like playing victim again.
well, it's, yeah, like wanting death more than God.
Yeah, and this loop that Niles is caught in is death. Is death. It's the death loop.
Over and over again.
Even if it went on forever, it's still the death loop. It doesn't matter. It's still
Yeah, it's a decision.
it's like
it seems the only reason he decided to join her in getting out is because of his relationship with her, that he didn't want that to end.
yeah.
Love called him out. So are we ready for a miracle in this desire?
Well, actually, when Elliot mentioned, that we'd probably be looking at this, and it kind of, it feels like there's more to see.
I'm just throwing that out there to have us go back to relishing again, or whatever it is that.
Yeah, it's actually, I'm hearing that it's complete for now. That's what I'm hearing.
I do feel a big like opening. Yeah. sense of joinedness.
Yes.
Yeah. It's easy to see now that it's always there. It's just rarely recognized.
Yeah, what I'm hearing here is that it's a matter of, okay, I recognize that there's an order of miracles I have going on in my construct here and my concept, so that I'm like, well, I feel helpless in this, but I don't feel, and it's just like, okay, fine, just let it all go and step into the miracle, step into the willingness to see it differently.
Yeah, even if there's more, we can still
Mhm.
step into it. That's so true.
Yeah.
Because it's not like once the phone goes off, we just go, okay, back to regular old life again. we stay joined. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have a couple more joinings for this movie, and then we're leading up to our retreat.
Yeah, this Saturday night, we'll probably have another movie and then use those as desires for next week.
Nice.
Yeah, this has been really powerful to watch a movie together and just to deepen this listening. And as we watch as the light and practice, it's like the light training of staying as the light.
Yeah.
And just asking Jesus.
I think we could do
I can't hear that
relish.
enough. Ask me, ask me, ask me. So yeah.
I know here at the center, we don't talk a lot. We do a lot of deep looking. Yeah, but since we're discussing the movie, there's a lot of that coming up.
Yeah, so like how to use the Holy Spirit, infinite light, to interpret movies.
Yes.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has Kay, I can't remember if Kay's emailed that out yet or made it available.
Oh, yeah, I haven't, maybe I saw an email actually.
I've seen the flyer.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll be live, Wednesday night satsang. I don't know if there's a topic for tomorrow, but
There's not a topic yet. There's not a thumbnail. There's not a description. There's not an announcement.
yeah.
It sounds very non-dual.
It'll be what it'll be. You'll know when we know, I guess.
Right? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does feel complete for now. It
Yeah.
didn't a little while ago, but it doesn't for me now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that I'm gonna be like just relishing some more.
Yeah.
I feel it.
relishing is what I hear from being here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with me, he says.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank
Blessing.
you.
Yep.
Bye.
Aw.
Bye.
Bye-bye.